Hi guys, welcome to the 10th video of this series. Um, Previously we did some morphological transform to reduce all those extra stars, so we can basically be looking just at our target, which is the large Magellan cloud here. And I'm pretty happy with how the image turned out. And this video, the image looks really good now, but we can really give it a boost with some color saturation. Now we can apply the saturation curve to the whole image, which we will see in a minute. To do that, you go Process, Intensity Transformation, and Curves Transformation, and select your real-time preview graph. And make sure your quality is always set to maximum. And the saturation curve is right on the corner here, that there. Okay, so I will show you what happens when you go all the way up. You can see how it's starting to bring out that beautiful pinks. And what the image is a bit dominated by green, but we will fix that soon. And if I pull that up, you can see how it's really starting to boost off. But what's happening now is, because I'm trying to increase all those colors there, the whole image is being affected, and I really don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a star mask. So I'm going to reset this, close. Now I'm going to create two masks. One would be for the stars, and other one would be for all these little bright objects. So I'll go Process, Mask Generation, and I'll first create a star mask. Now usually I would just leave it to default, which should take care of all the bright stars. So I'm going to go and just drag up here. So the good thing with star mask, when you're doing a color saturation, you don't oversaturate your stars. So that is a really good thing. So you're just saturating any of the nebulosity in the background. And you can use the same star mask to invert your mask and then just give it a little bit of saturation to your stars. So just once that is done. Okay, that is your star mask there. Now for time being, I'm going to minimize this, and I'll put it aside. Now I'm going to create another mask, which is a range selection. So I'm going to select just the bright parts of this image. I'm going to go real-time preview, and I'm going to start selecting those images. I just want the bright parts, so you can see how these bright parts are really saturated. I'm going to go with some fuzziness, and I'm going to smooth it. Just want those bright parts. Now those are all that's all the nebulosity, so I really want that nebulae to pop out. I'm going to go change the upper limit. Okay, you can see only the really bright parts are being selected. I'm actually going to just go a bit and make it a... Okay, I'm happy with that, so just create a mask for that. Okay, so I'll close all of that. Okay, I'm going to okay, so let's start with applying our star mask. Now to apply your star mask, you open up your image, your star mask. Okay, and drag and drop the star mask here onto your main image. Oops, it didn't happen. Oh, sorry, not on top of there, right next to here. Okay, so that has now been applied. Now you don't delete because that is currently in use. Now, as you can see, all the everything else has been protected, and the changes will only be taking place on the stars. Now we don't want that. We want to invert our mask, so we'll go mask, invert. Now all the stars are being protected, and any changes that you made will be applied to the background. So I'm going to go mask and just hide my mask, and I'm going to go process, intensity transformation, and curve saturation. Now I'll show you quickly what happens. If I bring it all the way up, you can see the stars are really as they should be, and just the background colors have been saturated. So I'm going to reset this and start going to make my changes. Okay, that there. And I'm going to go, that's the RGB channel, which is our contrast channel. So I'm just going to add a little bit of contrast there. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I'm going to apply that. Now you can just click on this apply icon. Okay, and then reset it, and just see how it has affected. Pretty good. I can add a little bit more saturation. Just go a tiny bit, and probably just that. Maybe slide. Okay, no, that good. Okay, and apply it. Okay, and I'll close that, and I will reset this. Now you can see we have gone from, okay, it does take a while if you just, okay, so we have gone from this to this image. You can see how all those nebulous regions have really been pushed, and they look really nice. Now we will add a little bit of saturation to the stars as well. So you go mask and inverter mask. So if I show you the mask, you'll see background is being protected and only the stars are visible. So I'll go mask, show mask, and open up my real-time preview, reset it, and if I go all the way, you should see how the stars are being affected. They go really red, which we don't really want. So I'm just gonna go just a tiny bit, and just that. Okay, I'm going to go RGB. So if I go all the way down, you see how all the stars are being removed, but no, we don't want that. So we just want to reduce the brightness by a tiny bit, and just a nice contrast. Okay, with that, and apply. Okay, so you should see the stars, all the stars are looking really nice. So we have gone from this to this. You can see I've reduced that stars a tiny bit and increased that color, and that is it. Well, one other thing I can do is I can now that we have used, well, we have applied saturation to our stars and the background, I'm going to just remove the mask for now, and I'm going to use our second mask, which was the rain selection. I'm going to apply that to the image. Oh, sorry. I'm going to apply that to the image. Let's see, everything else is protected, and only the galaxy, or all the changes will only be affected to the galaxy. So I'm going to go hide it, go process, and go my saturation curve. Now I can just now boost the color of the galaxy like that, but oh, sorry, that's boosting the RGB. We don't want that, just a saturation, and just bring it up just a tiny bit, and bring that, see how it affects. We don't really want that, we just want a tiny bit, just so our main target is standing out. Okay, that, and I go to RGB channel and just create a little contrast. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I'll apply that to the image. And that's done. Now I'll get rid of this mask. Now, we have applied a global saturation to the image. Now I can go and individually add changes to either these blues or the pinks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my star mask again and apply that to the image. And just make sure the stars are protected. And now I can go process, intensity transformation, and color saturation. Now what this is going to do is this is going to, you can target a specific color and choose that to be either saturated or desaturated. Now to start with, I'm first going to affect just the blue. So I'm going to create a little preview by clicking there and just get that preview. Going to apply that, and I am going to go, so that is somewhere there. Okay, you see it's also affecting every other color, so I'm going to create another point there and just drag it down and then drag this back up. And then I'm going to go there and just bring that back. So basically just targeting that particular blue. You can make it really sharp, so I'll probably go a little extra there, and that much. And I'm happy with that, so I'll apply it to the image. Okay, so you should see how much it is. It hasn't done much, but it has enough to make it look prominent, so I'm going to apply that to our image. Okay, that has been applied. Now I also would like to do some saturation on, oh sorry, don't want that. Delete all the previews and just saturate these little pinks here. So I'm just going to get that, select, preview, and I'm just going to go open up again, reset it, and I should say the pinks are here. If I go just that, bring down my curve somewhere here, and bring this back up. Okay, you should see the pinks are really standing out, but that's a bit too hard. So I'm just going to delete that. Just going to make a nice curve somewhere there. That, bring it back. I'm just going to make that change. So you can see how desaturated, the little saturated there. Okay, that should work fine. Close that, apply that to the image. You can see it just made it a little more stand out. So I'm going to apply that to my image. Okay, so now that it's done, I'll just click delete all previews so I can go back. Now color saturation is really subjective, so if you like your image to be toned down, it's perfectly fine. It can be really nice and saturated, but I like it somewhere right in the middle, so something like that is good. Now before I still have one more step to make it really nice and saturated. but not really saturated in a bad way, really looking good. But I really want to get rid of all those greens. So what I'm going to do is first remove the mask that we have applied and go into Process, Noise Reduction, and SCNR. Not 100% sure what SCNR stands for, but this is something where you remove your. This is a noise reduction you use to remove your color cast. So as you can see, there's a really prominent green color cast. So I'm going to go Color to remove green, Average neutral, and 1, and I'm just going to apply that to the image. And you can see it has done a really good job of removing all those greens. But personally, I don't like how all the green has been removed from the image. So what I usually do is go a bit less, somewhere around 70, and remove that. Okay. So it's not the image doesn't turn right into a blue and red image. It has that little tint of green, which really helps calibrate your image. So once you've done that, you just go close that, and really happy with that image. Now, as you can see, if I zoom in, you have all those halos, and there's a bit of chrominance noise as well, all those patches. Now, we can get rid of that easily. So what you do is, there's something called HLRGB combination. Oh, sorry, not HLRGB, just LRGB combination. So L is for luminance. So what I'm going to do is, I will get rid of these star masks. Just go this. I don't need them anymore. And I'm going to create a lightness mask, which is this here. Or you can go into Process, Extract Channels, Extract Alpha Channels, and oh, sorry, no, not this. Process, LRGB extraction. Okay, anyway, can't find it now, but this is one easy extract CIE component. So I'll just go back to E. It should have been here. Anyway, I'll just click on this, and it should give us the luminance channel. Now that is our luminance. Now I'll keep that here for, I can just minimize that. And I'm going to go into LRGB combination, which is LRGB combination, and deselect our red, green, and blue channels, and just select a lightness channel, which is the luminance, and then select chrominance noise reduction, and leave it as default. And you can either do some saturation, so somewhere there, and apply it to the image. So what it's going to do is, it's only going to saturate anything that's on the luminance channel and do a really good chrominance noise reduction. Okay, if I zoom in, okay, so maybe just that part. If I go back, you should see it has significantly reduced the chrominance noise. So most prominently, I think in this region. So you can see how it has removed all those color blotches. And so it hasn't done much with the saturation, but yeah, and that's it. I'll actually just go back. I like that image. This looks a bit saturated. I'll just go back to my process, LRGB combination. Let's keep that, put that back to 5, and just go there. That's it. So it has kept the same saturation but removed, but has done chrominance noise reduction. So I'll just show you how it has affected the image. Okay, so that's with all the chrominance noise, and that is without it. So that's one easy way of getting rid of the noise reduction. Alright, thank you guys.